Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of the Exile Podcast. I'm here with myself, Scoob, Mintam, Jag, and Nausea, and today we're going to be talking about a few things. We have some introductions, we're going to be talking about our intentions with the podcast, and then we're going to be covering topics such as like players and editors, and then we're going to finish up with some questions from the community. Alright, so I guess we can start and introduce everybody, go around the table sort of. And so I'll start. I'm Exile Scoob, or you can call me Griffin. I'm an editor. Kevin, you want to go?
Yeah, I am Kevin, or Jag. I'm a player.
I am editor.
And I am Exile Mintam, and I don't even know what I am. Player, editor, whatever. Yeah, that.
He's the mint man.
Mine. Me, I'm mint man.
Yeah. All right. So we'll start out here with podcast intentions. So what is to be expected on our podcast? So there's a lot of things I think that we're going to be doing. We're not going to be focusing on one sole topic. It's sort of just like a platform for members of Exile to talk about anything that's really going on in the community, and then also things that are going on outside of the community as well. Sort of just any topics, right?
Yeah.
And we do have obviously some specific plans, like talking about like recent montages or edits.
But a lot of it, this is an experiment in a lot of ways, so we'll be responding to feedback and seeing how this goes as a sort of pilot, I guess. And it could change a lot in response to what works best, what people want.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a science right now. We're still kind of just going with
We're new
the
gens
wind
here.
with some things.
We're pioneers.
For sure. Definitely.
And then also some plans for future podcasts, rotating guests, community feedback. I already mentioned that one. But yeah, we are planning on having rotating guests, different people come in. You will not be seeing the same people every time. So yeah, definitely, like, if you have any people you want to see, let us know in the feedback or anything. Yeah.
Like Mintam.
Yes. Yeah, like
He's
Mintam.
a cool guy.
If you really want Mintam to come back, I don't know why you would, but I guess if you really want him to come back, you can let us know.
Should mention that Scoob and I do plan on being here.
Either, hopefully both of us, if one of us can't make it, hopefully one of us will be here every time. Sort of direct things. All right, so now we're going to go through some brief introductions of sort of everyone here. I know we already went through like our alias and our name, but we're going to just give a little bit of background. Sort of like, obviously we already said what we do in Exile. So how long we've been in the team, I guess when you started playing, editing, whatever Mintam does. And then I guess let's do one fun fact, because that's lame, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay.
I'm down.
I'll start. Obviously, I'm Scoob, and so I'm an editor in Exile. And I've been in the team, I don't know, maybe like a few weeks. I just joined, as most of you probably know.
He's a unit.
I am a unit. That's what they call me. I've been editing since... This one's tough because I started making like shitty iMovie montages in like 2015 and like year 2, but like most people did that. I started seriously editing in August of last year, like actually making montages. So then one fun fact is I edit on a MacBook and with a trackpad. So shout out trackpad gang, shout out MacBook gang. You guys know the struggle.
Yikes.
Trackpad is honestly better. Like, it's not even a struggle. I'm not being
a struggle.
ironic.
It's an advantage.
I miss trackpad.
Did you just take a mouse?
Nope.
And use it.
I can't do it.
So much better.
No.
Aki knows the advantage.
It's actually
I don't know.
not like the finger motions you can do with trackpad in After Effects to scroll the timeline.
Yeah,
left
that's
and
what I
right
like
and
the
up and
most.
down,
Well, that's true.
without having to hold Alt or Shift or whatever. It's
Yeah.
actually obsolete.
All right, Charlie, do you want to go?
So I'm Nausea, otherwise known as Charlie. I guess this is a fun fact in a way. I believe I'm right in saying I'm like the sort of oldest, the longest surviving member of Exile. I joined in September of 2015, although I did leave for a year or so. But anyway, yeah, I'm an editor. I have been editing for 7 years or so now. It started again. I didn't initially do montages. Used to make
He's a maniac.
He's a unit. He's the unit, dude. not you.
He is the unit.
Used to make like live action movies and things, but got into montage editing because of Modern Warfare 2 trick shotting. And anyway, here I am in Exile, and
I have one quick question.
yeah.
Are we gonna? Will the community be seeing any of these live action movies soon, or are those still gonna stay under wraps?
Those I do honestly regret this, but they are all gone, like
Oh,
and been
man.
wiped out.
That's a
from,
shame.
Old YouTube channels and things.
All right, Kevin, you want to go?
Yeah. I guess a fun fact, if you could say that, about me is that I'm pretty sure I have the only sniping slayer on Sector 618 in Destiny 1.
Isn't it 6?
Very impressive.
18?
Whatever it is. 6 something.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure it's 618.
It's 618.
Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
God damn it, Nausea. Really trying to mess me up.
Sorry.
Your life, I lie.
How long have you been playing? I guess. Destiny,
I mean,
per se. Or like going for clips,
Destiny-wise,
I guess.
I've been playing Destiny since the beta, but I've been going for clips, I'd say, since around. I mean, I like started like trying to snipe and just like recording triple downs and shit like that during like Taken King time, or not Taken King, during what's it called?
House of Wolves or Rise of Iron?
Yeah, House of Wolves. And that was I don't know, I just like enjoyed that a lot, and just like I wasn't even a part of the community in any way. It was just like sitting there and just like recording triple downs and shit like that,
just grinding the
for
game.
the fun of it. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, around Rise of Iron times when I started to like see Exile, and then I started to like really take it more serious and start to like record like more breakers and everything like that. Just trying to like hit slayers and shit like that if I could. I didn't hit too many, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, Mint, you want to go?
Well, fun fact about me, you know, I have my allies in the community is Mintam, which is kind of like a weird name, but the origins of Mintam is actually just a spelling mistake from a 5th grade. You know or don't know, my native language is not English. So I have a lot of spelling mistakes and pronunciation mistakes and stuff like that. And when I was in 5th grade, it's the time that I got my my first console, the Xbox 360, and I needed to open an account. And the game that I played at the time was Minecraft, unsurprisingly. And I said,
Good game.
"Oh, I have a great idea. Let's combine the game Minecraft
Oh god.
with my real name, which has a tam in it." So but you know, the mistake that I had is that I thought that you spell Minecraft without the E in the mine.
Minecraft.
So, yeah, Minecraft. And then I just put it on. It was like Mintam, which was supposed to be Mintam, which I would have regretted if that
Yeah.
would have been Mintam, because that's really, really.
Maybe you should have pursued a career as like a Minecraft YouTuber. Your name could be Mintam.
No. But and then my friend came over to my house and he was like, "Why are you called Mintam?" I was like, "That's not Mintam, that's Mintam." He was like, "Dude, no."
Oh god.
And that's the origins of my very unique name. Yeah.
Awesome. How long have you been editing / going for clips? I guess because you do both ish. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay, so I've been editing for about 3 years, if I'm not wrong. I basically got into the community because of the editing. I remember that there was this guy called Razel, if you know him.
Yeah.
He edited
Oh, yeah.
like Destiny 1 montages. I matched him one time in the Crucible. Then I started stalking him because I really liked his edits, and joined the Discord server where a guy called Elliot Ricci and a guy and Queen from Exile, they were both there. We became good friends and blah blah blah. I started editing from here and there. They saw a few of my triples and were like, "Dude, you have good triples. Try joining Exile." and I tried to join Exile, and I kind of got in as a player. Although I wanted to get in as an editor, and then I started editing, like seriously, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, from here to there, like I'm here, just doing mintages and stuff like that, once a year.
Once a year mintages, yeah.
Very impressive, if you ask me.
Impressive. They're awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
The
Okay.
best.
They are the best. That's true. So our next two topics, I don't know. Do we want to do the editing one or the player one first?
I think that we should do the player one, since it's probably gonna be the shortest, because we have more editors in here this time.
That's true. I mean, I can talk about the player one as though, because I see a lot of clips.
I
and
mean, I
stuff.
can talk about the player ones as well.
All right, I guess we'll all talk about it then. Charlie, you want to talk about the player one?
Okay.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about the
please.
fucking player one.
All right, let's do
Yeah,
the
let's
player
go
one.
for
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So our topic is wall hacks and invis. I guess I guess we can just cover the entire topic. Like, so I guess when the game, when Forsaken first came out, pretty much everybody was running Blade Barrage because it was like stupid good, and you could like body people with Shards of Galanor, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then that got nerfed, and then people switched to Spectral Blades. Because initially Spectral Blades sucked because it had really bad hit detection. I guess that may have been just on consoles. I don't know though. Or was
It
it
still
bad?
sucks.
It is still frustrating. But yeah, and then I guess people started discovering Flawless Execution and how like good it was, and then it just blew up. Everybody uses it. So I guess let's start with an intro question. I want to hear everybody's opinion on does it make clips worse? Like if somebody hits a Snipe Reaper, is it worse if they use Flawless Execution, or is it still just as cool as if they didn't use it?
I think it makes it worse.
Okay, why?
Personally.
Why is that?
I mean, it really depends. I think for the average player, it makes it worse because the average player wouldn't be able to hit Sniper Slayers without it. I think for people like Pro and Lego and Daniel, like AVP, like they're ridiculous no matter what, and they're
Yeah.
gonna be able to hit those type of clips regardless. But even like if they use it, like it's gonna be way more common. They're gonna be able to find people way easier because it does take away things like map awareness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one thing is, I do think this also concerns editors a little bit because
It does.
I think, yeah, it makes clips look ugly.
It does make clips look ugly.
Absolutely.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sync is terrible with it. It makes red flashes everywhere.
Sorry about that.
True.
It does. I don't know. I haven't personally experienced the red flashes, but I will say it's tough when
I
you
think Aki said that.
when you can't see the gun, because like the gun's a really important part of like syncing movement. If you can't see
That's
the fucking
also
gun,
true.
then like what's the point?
Yeah, I do a lot of the things with like guns, colors, masking.
Yeah,
Without a gun, I can't really do anything. That is true.
that's actually a huge point. Like people who really rely on gun effects, it's like they're kind of just left out to dry. 'Cause you just can't do it.
For
Yeah.
me
I mean,
as well,
my-
I'd say like the main problem with going invis is how it sort of changes the lighting of the
Mhm.
screen, which can really interfere with your shot effects if you add exposure, glow,
Yeah.
things like that.
And also
You have
frame
to-
blending, it can mess with
Definitely.
that.
Yeah. So
So many
sort
things
of,
I didn't even know.
takes you off balance, and you have to like compensate for it
Yeah.
a lot.
I mean, I don't know. My opinion on this, like, I don't really have the time to play that much or edit at all because of school and stuff. So I can't really hit anything that is more than a double kill. And for me, actually, like, using the invisible in flawless execution perk, it just makes everything like, I don't know, it makes it fun because I can roll out with my chaperone, just get a kill, and I don't know, it just makes it sort of easy and sort of fun, and because I don't hit clips, so for the, I'll call it average player that don't hit clips,
Yeah.
that is just a really cool feature. But yes, sometimes I get a kill and then I see that the other guy is just about to peek from the wall, so yeah, I'm gonna hard scope the wall and just wait for him to peek and headshot him. So for stuff like that, for let's say sniping Slayer or Reaper or whatever, it makes everything so much easier. You know where
Yeah.
they spawn at, where they're gonna peek at. So I think that it just gives you that advantage that nobody else on the map apart from you has. And that is just a thing that it's like saying you get a one body shot kill for every shot.
Yeah.
It just gives you an advantage that is kind of not fair. Therefore, it makes the clip easier. So if you're talking about skills, I don't think it takes much skills to use the flawless execution. Although I like it. I'm gonna admit, I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I use it every game.
That's the
I
big
think a lot of
problem.
people love it too. People don't want to live without it in some ways, I feel
It's
like.
so fun.
Has there been any sniping 7ths hit without it? Like,
No.
that's one thing that, yeah.
None.
It's like,
I have no idea.
it kind of takes away the purpose of it. It's like, be so much better without it.
Yeah, it's tough, like in the eyes of like a developer, like with Bungie, because they have a sort of duality of who they need to cater to. Like, obviously, they really like catering to the casuals because they make the money, but they can't like leave the hardcore like 1% players out to dry. Like, they have to give them a little something, and so you couldn't like just take it out of the game because casuals really like it. And it's just really hard to balance from a developer perspective. But I guess from like our community perspective, we could just like agree not to use it. Like, that's something we could do if we wanted to get rid of it. I don't know.
I'm not gonna get rid of it. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite perks. You don't even know. I like grinded the Seed of Light for that. It took me a lot of time, and then I accidentally used it on the Arc Blade subclass. And then I had to grind a whole lot more to get the flawless
How do
execution.
you accidentally
perk.
use it on the Arc Blade subclass? Is
Yeah,
it
I
clear
saw
what
that.
you
Open the
what you
thing,
do?
and then there was an
I understand.
animation being like, "Ooh, flashy!" Oh, boom! Open the new skill tree. I was like, "Ooh, flashy! Let's press that." Oh no! Wait, did I use my Seed of Light? Well, shit.
I think another big problem with flawless execution is the fact that, I don't know, it just feels oversaturated right now in the clip hitting community. I think that's one of the main problems, is that like, yeah, they can be really cool clips, and like they're definitely usable in some cases where it's like they're usable clips. You're hitting Reapers, you're hitting like really nice looking Slayers with it, even though it still helps you, like even if it's a good looking Slayer with it, like it looks nice. And I don't know, it's like, I feel like people just need to use it less, and it's still, it wouldn't be as annoying in some ways. I just feel like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't.
There's
Don't
too
get me
many
wrong. I
things.
encourage people to do like more variety in their montages. Like, as of right now, it's basically just a sniping breaker, sniping slayer, sniping reaper, and sniper and sniper and sniper and sniper. I'd much rather watch a montage with people using primaries, fusion rifles, shotguns, and snipers. Just everything. You can see in all of my montages, there's a really big variety of weapons. I just
Definitely.
think that it looks
That makes
way
it
better.
interesting. Yeah, it makes it entertaining.
Exactly. So I encourage people to use flawless execution, but no more like a clip too. No more than that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so I guess now we can move on to the editing question, because that's sort of been wrapped up. So any last thoughts on flawless execution you want to get
Yeah,
out?
I don't think so.
I think it's interesting to see how like really big players in the community will like tweet something, and then suddenly everybody like would like. I just feel like like I don't want to mention like any name specifically, but if like someone who's really big influence in the community tweeted like, I don't like flawless execution clips, you wouldn't see him anymore. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm like saying. That's another thing that interests
For
me
sure.
about like the clip hitting meta and stuff, is like how much like people can influence it.
I mean, if you're talking about the gigs thing right now, if you want to mention more stuff about that,
Yeah. I
you
was
wanna
sort
go
of
into
referencing
that?
like any like big person.
I
tweeting
am
about it.
not informed on what happened. Anybody want to sum it up real quick?
Yeah, Kevin.
So basically, I mean, there's been like people for a while have been kind of complaining about flawless execution with everything, with like how it's kind of been annoying to see it everywhere. But you've even seen like people not necessarily in the clip hitting community, just like shitting on it in a way. If I'm, am I allowed to curse
No, you
on this
curse.
podcast?
I've already
Okay.
cursed several times.
Damn it, now it's
I don't
16
take,
plus.
I don't even listen to it. Like I don't. When I say it, it's like.
Yeah, it's just like
you know.
natural. It's like part of
Yeah.
your vocabulary. You dial.
But
Yes, same.
whatever. Fucking. Yeah.
Nice. Excellent closing thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, kiddos, go to sleep. That's past your bedtime.
What's it called? Fucking. Yeah, this is gonna
This is
happen.
really
now.
taking a while.
This is gonna happen now.
Okay.
I feel you.
So people like Term and Gigs recently tweeted about how they don't like flawless execution, and I think it's really OP. Was Term talking about it in a clip standpoint? Because I don't think Gigs was.
Okay, I think Term was talking about it in clips. Magic tweeted something and then said he meant editing and clips. I saw that as well. He was complaining about it, how like he doesn't like it for clips and editing. Cause
I can
obviously
pull
he's an
up
editor,
Gigs right now.
All right. So while Kevin is pulling that up, let's quickly diverge into just like a quick question. We'll talk about this for like just a few minutes. So as you guys probably know, a lot of Bungie devs and members of like the team have been leaving. I don't know if they've been getting fired. I don't know exactly what's going on there. I think they've maybe just been leaving on their own like accord. Like what's going on there? Is that bad news for the future of Destiny? Is that good news? I want some thoughts.
To be honest, I don't really have any idea. I remember it's just like the big DLC stuff. So there were like the people directing and like doing all the stuff. I think Luke Smith, that's his name. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
that guy,
about
the
that.
raid guy.
Yeah.
He's the raid.
Is he still in the? He's still in the. No,
He's
left,
still there.
right?
No, Luke's still there.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm just so bad at this, but I don't know. Well, I guess as long as it's not gonna like change the face of Destiny too much, or at least for the wars,
Yeah.
I don't really mind. I mean, just as long as it stays like that, or just like becomes better. So I have no problem with it.
Or we could maybe get a theater mode.
Oh yeah,
That would be amazing.
If any of these people leaving means we get a theater mode, I'm all for it.
You're
Yeah,
all for
definitely.
people losing their jobs.
Okay, actually, that sounds pretty mean. Never mind.
Nah, dude, I want my theater mode at all costs.
I'm with you, man.
Min would
Dude,
walk in
that
and be like,
will
"You're all
save me,
fired.
like-
I want theater mode."
Dude, that will save me so much time. You'll see
Yeah.
like Mintash 10 in the next year, I swear.
All right, Kevin, did you find the tweet?
I have not found it.
Oh God.
I don't remember.
Okay, I'll try to find it. I can find it, put it in the editing, and put it on screen or whatever. All right, so any last thoughts about that? Charlie, do you have anything you want to say about the devs leaving?
I mean, there have been articles on it which I've neglected to read because, I feel like Destiny news isn't the most interesting thing in the world at this point. But
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe just to speculate, might that be some kind of a consequence of Bungie leaving Activision and then having to sort of reorganize
Yeah.
their personnel?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely an interesting topic.
I mean, weren't all these people like part of the PvP side?
I don't know.
Or at least a
for
lot of
sure.
them.
No, there was a raid there.
There was a raid dev that got taken out.
There was a
Yeah.
PvP one as well.
I'm pretty sure there was a few PvP ones, and I think once in the beginning, I'm pretty sure it was a few PvP people only, and people were speculating if Destiny 3 was just gonna be all PvE, no PvP.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
That would be terrible. That would destroy
That'd be
Exile.
brutal, dude. Christ.
Would it? Would
I
we
mean-
move on to something else?
Just go back
Or
to
are we
D1,
gonna,
honestly.
we're gonna hit breakers on dregs instead?
Just hit breakers on dregs. Fucking, we'd go to PvE medals.
Dude, that's actually not
I mean,
bad.
Yeah, guys,
PvE edits are
Exile
cool,
is gonna
but-
move on to Minecraft competitive.
The new team is led by Mintam, actually. He changed his name.
Yeah. Exile Mintam, new leader of Minecraft
Exile
Hunger
Minecraft.
Games. Yeah.
All right, so that's just done and dusted. We'll finish that topic. Next one, the editing portion of this. Okay, so this one is really interesting. It's something I really like thinking about and talking about. I always wonder like how editors find their style. Okay, and that could be interpreted any number of ways. So first, I want to go with what you guys think, what you define style as, because I feel like it could be different for everybody.
Okay, I mean, I have a very short definition for style. Like, if someone can actually edit without if someone can watch my edit without me saying Mintam presents, saying that's
Yeah.
Mintam's edit, and he can recognize me for editing, I think that's a successful. You have a style, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a good argument. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Because
agree,
some
Charlie?
people like
Yeah.
Aki's edits, Facebarker's edits, Magic's edits, Lost's edits. I can definitely recognize them without them saying,
Yeah.
Mintam's
I made
edits.
this.
That's cool, man. You can just leave out me and Charlie. It's fine. That's fine. Honestly. It's cool. Yeah. Okay. I feel like that's a good definition of like it's basically what makes your edit your edit. We'll say. We'll go with that. All right. So, moving off of that, the main question is how you developed your style. Like what did you do? Like how long it took you to develop your style? If you took inspiration from anybody, like your biggest influences when you were editing, like as you progressed as an editor, sort of like everything about that. I know it's a lot to swallow, so if you forget any questions, just let me know and I'll ask you another one. So yeah, I don't know. I guess who wants to go first?
I don't think I have
Everyone
much to
start
say
with
in
that.
this. I know we're gonna talk
No,
about clip
Kevin.
style.
Kevin, I need to hear you talk. How'd you develop your style?
My clip style, hitting clips wall high. That's my style.
It actually gives you wall hacks without having to hit flawless execution.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
That's what Jesus wants us to do.
That's true. Okay, back to the question, Charlie. How long took you to develop your style, influences on your editing as you progressed?
I was sort of hoping you wouldn't ask me because I'm not proud of like my former self editing because I have been like majorly influenced by editors, and I would like emphasize the word influence in the sense that I have bought a lot of project files in my time and used to be a copycat, and even
no
before
shame.
self-fi was a thing, really.
No shame there.
I used to try copying people, so even I mentioned like 7 years or so editing, but it's only like past year or so I've sort of been able
To break
felt
out into
able
your own.
to, emerge into my own style and start being a bit more conscious about the decisions I make in terms of what's best for edits. I will say that one thing recently I've found is that I really enjoy editing multiple games since I have pretty much exclusively done Destiny the past few years, but I did an Apex Legends, I did a Fortnite.
Yeah,
and
that
what I
Fortnite
liked
one was
about
really
that
sick. Yeah.
was that it sort of forced me to go out of my comfort zone, like not just do the things I'm used to doing. And so in that sense, I kind of feel like you can have a style, but you need to be constantly redeveloping it in order to like keep up, I suppose.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna go for my editing now, and then we'll go Mint, and then Kevin, you can say whatever the fuck you want on them. I don't care. So yeah, how long it took me to develop my style, I don't know. I've only been seriously editing for 8 months, so it's hard to say, and I don't even know if I even have a style. I sort of just do whatever. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird looking at your own edits and being like, that's my style, because it's like you don't see it that way. I mean, I guess I don't. I'm sure you guys probably you might have a different viewpoint on that, but that's just how I feel. I guess
I
like
agree,
yeah, people you took inspiration from. This is like weird. I guess like I could say, I don't want to say like my favorite editors because like Dreams is like probably my favorite editor I expect, but my edits don't look like Dreams or expect, so it's weird. I guess I don't want to say like Aki because I don't want to come off like an Aki clone, but it's like I don't think I am, but it's like the first edits I probably saw in Destiny were Aki's, so like it was always like I want to be like him.
That was the base.
Yeah. But still like not trying. But like it's hard. It's hard when you first start out. Like Charlie, like you mentioned, you were copying people a lot because like you don't have a creative platform yet to make your own things when you first starting out. So you're sort of just like, oh, I guess I can do what that person did and just try to change it a little bit, and then it can come out looking the same. And it's just it's like I think one of the most important things to develop your style is like full creative freedom, being able to do exactly what you want as you like executing your vision basically in your head. That's what's super
and
important.
you can't do that until you're,
Yeah.
you've learned the program well enough, until you've made mistakes, really.
Yeah, it's all like going outside your comfort zone is how you really get that. It's just being able to execute your vision effectively. So yeah, that's my story on my style. Mint, do you want to go? And speak?
Yeah, sure. I mean, my like inspiration was like when I think about it, I started like developing my style around the time Mintash 2 came out, which was about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, if I'm not wrong. Which was the time I started to like watch anime. Now,
It makes you a
I
better
emphasize
clipper.
a lot.
What?
Definitely, it gets you a lot of girls too. I mean, I haven't
Whoa,
said
whoa,
that.
whoa! That's not this kind of podcast.
But basically, I emphasize a lot with it sounds weird, but like all of the girly stuff, cute stuff, colorful stuff, which you can find a lot in anime. And a few of my favorite series, they actually has like themes and openings and
Yeah.
a lot of scenes where the colors are shifted. They're just like very vibrant. It's just something that you don't really see in any other places. And you can see in Mintage 3, you can see almost it's like 1-to-1, like the same color scheme. A lot of the scenes, some of the scenes are even like kind of like recreated from the anime itself. It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That's the second opening for that season, for that show. You can search it up and like see what I'm
Amazing
talking
work.
about. What?
It's an amazing show.
Yeah, it's a really good show, but like the art style of it is really, really unique. A lot of my inspiration came from like very old art styles. A new game that I've recently finished called Persona. A lot of stuff like that are just like making me like imagine things. And when you have a big imagination, you can actually put that into the editing program. Like everything I do, it's not complex. Like my effects, my stuff, they're not complex. It's basically just taking shapes and different colors and putting them on. It's not complex, but it's things that you have to think about. And I think that's what like that's what I'm good at, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. You say like, oh, my effects aren't complex, but you're still able to paint such a vivid picture. It's like you have such a like unique creative vision that you don't need effects. You don't need all those plugins. That you can still execute your vision with just like whatever the After Effects gives you. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, another thing about editing, which is for all of the editors watching the podcast, is that like some people like they come up to me, hey, meantime, give me preview, give me opinions, blah blah blah. And a lot of things, I'm telling them, hey, do that, blah blah blah, here and there, and they ended up not doing like what I'm telling them. Yeah, you don't have to take my advice. That's just an advice. That's an opinion. But sometimes it's just because they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's not a complaint or anything like that. But before getting into editing, before like trying to get a preset, put it on, just keep going with the montage. Get to know the editing program, get to know how to use it, a lot of stuff like that. Like I actually learned a bit of motion design before going into the mintages and stuff like that, so I would get to know how to use the effects that nobody uses. I'll get to know them better, and I could like make some stuff out of them. Just basic knowledge of the editing program itself, and then you can just like advance from there.
Yeah, that's oh god, I was gonna say something, I just forgot. When you said like when you tell someone how to do something and they won't do it because they don't know how, that resonated a lot with me, because people, when I started out, people would be like, why don't you do this? They'd be like, I didn't even know what pan crops were. They'd be like, fix your pan crops, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And I'd be like, I don't no idea what that is. And it makes like basic editing guides really useful, I think, in my opinion. Like God bless people like Boston. I don't know how you guys view him, but he had that like Google Doc with just like all the editing terms and all the editing plugins. And it's like that. I wish I had started there. Unfortunately, I started just by like downloading After Effects, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make an edit, and you have no idea what you're doing. But yeah, that like point resonated with me.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to say something, but I totally forgot it. Oh, yeah.
All right. While you're remembering, Kevin, how long did it? Biggest influences on your editing?
On my editing,
Yeah, on your
biggest
editing.
influence. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Let's.
For editing, like take your time. Do not rush it. I remember what I wanted to say. Okay, so because you said you didn't know like the terms and everything,
Yeah.
right? A lot of the times, because I'm having sometimes I'm having a hard time understanding people when we speak English. If it comes to like complex words or basic terms that I just don't have in my language that we speak of.
Yeah.
That we speak of.
So I mean, shush, you and your
The Mintam
Anyways,
language.
so I'm just asking. I'm like, what is this word? And people often like make fun of me. They're like, dude, it's basic. Why don't you know that? And I'm like, I don't know.
That's pretty mean.
So I'm asking.
That's pretty mean. Christ.
Sorry, I'm just
I don't
thinking
know.
back to
So I'm just
some
like-
examples of this.
Well, what?
Mintam, do you remember the double rostering thing?
Oh,
I really bullied you for that, and I'm sorry.
I don't remember. No.
Okay, good.
No. Explain it. Now I'm interested.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Okay, so
I'm intrigued.
Sito, who used to lead Exile, he made an announcement in our Discord server saying that we weren't allowed to double roster, and Mintam mistook that to mean that we shouldn't roast double, as in
Oh,
someone
yeah.
whose alias in the community was double, like O double dude.
Understandable.
And
Understandable.
I couldn't help
This
it.
is not okay.
It's hilarious.
I remember that. That was,
Don't roast double.
Okay.
It's not okay.
Now
Now
that
I
we've
feel bad.
concluded that we've had reconciliation. Everything's
We have.
the bridges have been built. Everything's smoothed over between Mint and the rest of Exile. We're gonna move on to some community questions. All right. So how about we do this? So the first community question I want Kevin to answer. The second one Charlie, and the fourth one Mint, or the third one Mint, and then I'll do the fourth one, and we'll do that rotation. So me, Kevin, Charlie, Mint.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So
Yes,
the first one for Kevin. When will Exile make a big comeback?
We are making a comeback currently. There is no comeback to be had.
We never left. Where we go?
We never left. Where did we go? I don't know what people are talking about. Exile gone. Exile. What do you mean? It's right here.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. That's all I can say.
Guys, today, mark your calendars. Today.
Okay.
It's today.
All right. We'll wrap that one up.
Exactly.
Charlie, this
Stupid
one's
question.
interesting because you were also a lead. How many people do you want in Exile at a time? So I'll also add on, like, when you were a lead, did you have like a set number you wanted, or was it just like whoever? There were no rules.
Well, when we first had the team, obviously there weren't many people in it, so the objective was just to build the roster up as big as possible. But nowadays in Exile, we have, I don't know how many members, but a lot, it feels like, even if most of them are inactive, to be brutally honest. But
Yeah.
that's fine for us because, a large part of being a member of Exile is just sort of the community that we build amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
And the relationships and interactions we have amongst our members, and that's not something that you have to. It's something that prevails like throughout time. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
I believe I hope this is fair to say that we're always looking. We will always acknowledge people with talent who are making an effort to grind to get into the team,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like there's a cap on members we can have.
Mhm.
So yeah.
All right.
I mean, there was another question that we've been asked, which kind of relates to Naja's question, which is, what are the Excel standards for clips and for the editing / design inside of things? Which is, Naja said that we're always looking for people. We don't have a set of standards. Be like, yeah, you have to hit 4 lights out medals per day,
Yeah.
and a Reaper per month. If not that, you're out, dude. I mean, it's not like that. it's for
Man,
for
if that was the
players, just
standards,
like,
you would have been gone a long time ago, man.
I've been gone a long time ago. Yeah, I barely hit a double. I need help if anybody want to team up. I don't have any friends I need to play with. Anyways, I didn't say that.
Go on,
Let's do it together.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the clips now. That's just be active, hit clips. That's it. If you have better clips, out of the better clips, so use them. That's good too. But I'm not a player. I'm mainly an editor. But for the editing, because and it's the same for designing. It's basically I'll put it under the section of art. I'm not looking for you have to know how to sync. You have to have great flow. If you don't mark that off, you can't join Exile. No, It's basically be creative. We're looking for people who can stand out, right? You can look at every single editor in Exile and designer. You can see that he has his own style. He has something unique that everybody else does not have, and there's like no exceptions. For the style thing we talked about in the beginning, you can see that from the editors that are active now, Aberdeen, he has his own style. I can easily see his edit without without like seeing Aberdeen presents. Same for Nausea, Acro, Scoob. I guess people can say me as well. Just be unique, and that's exactly what we're looking for. We need people that stands out, people that Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Mint, this question's for you. Would the Destiny
Wait, that
community?
was the question for me.
No, that question was for Nausea, and you hijacked it.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine. I guess actually I'll ask Nausea this one because I feel like you've been around the longest. Would the Destiny community ever change? And I guess that's a tough question to ask because it's very broad. I guess we can say, what would you describe the community as right now, and do you think it would change?
Dead.
Okay.
Dead?
No, not exactly.
The community's never dead.
It's never.
But honestly, I never like to think of the community as being this one like isolated essence. It's a collection of individuals, I guess, and different groups within that. So, not everyone in the community likes montages.
Mm-hmm.
I think is a perfect example, really. So there's some major clashes in how content is made for the game and things like that. And Destiny, especially hardcore versus casual players, PvE versus PvP players. So, I mean, it just depends on what state the game's in, really.
Yeah.
What was the question? It's so broad.
Do you see the Destiny community changing?
It has changed.
Yeah, I guess.
Always changes.
Definitely. I mean,
It's always changing, but it's never. I mean, it's like they're not massive changes in a way. I mean, it's like such a broad thing.
The community, like 1 year, like before now, it was different.
Yeah,
100%.
with time.
Exile was way more active. The game is just slower now. I mean, it's less people wanting to play the game, obviously, because the game is less. Like, people don't want to play it as much. I haven't been playing it a lot. A lot of people just haven't been playing it a lot, and I don't know. It's just like it's not a standout game currently. So
okay.
The community's not as live and active as it was.
Yeah. I will take the next one. What are the future plans for Exile? To continue making dope shit. That's what I'm gonna say. Continue making the things we would like to make.
Definitely.
Can we specify what kind of dope shit will be made?
Don't worry about it.
I can specify and say that we will use the ad revenue to order pizzas.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. We don't have ad revenue.
We would buy pizzas though.
Jerky will go to Zyro.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
What?
How do you, Mintam? You don't know about the jerky sponsorship?
No.
We used to have a jerky sponsorship. Yeah.
Did we?
Exile used to have a jerky sponsorship. I wasn't around during it, but
let's
I know
get that
of
back,
it.
low key. I like jerky.
I have no idea what jerky is,
No
but
proceeds ever went anywhere, and there was a joke going around that that Zyro either got all the money and got all the jerky because he's fat.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, we fat
my
shamed
God.
him so much. We've never actually seen him. That's the best part.
Okay, we're moving on from that.
Really?
We're
we're
moving on.
If he's
We're moving
actually
on.
fat. We don't know if Zyro's actually fat.
No, we don't.
Jeez, that's even
Wait.
worse. You fat shaming, he's not even fat. That's arguably worse.
Oh, I know. It started because he used to do typos constantly, so we always thought he had really fat fingers.
Really fat fingers.
I'm sorry, Scoob.
No, that's fine. That's a good tangent.
It's actually
okay.
amazing.
I wasn't in the team when this was decided, so this is up to you guys. But what made Exile have a comp team? What was the thought process behind that? Or is that like a
To
question
be honest,
for like,
that wasn't a very
Mexi or-
open. That's probably a bigger question for Mexi.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a. All I can say, I feel like I can be comfortable saying, and this
You gotta be careful.
might be.
I'm gonna have
edited
to
out.
bleep it out.
Yeah, you might have to bleep this out. Is that like we were just like Destiny was very dead at the moment, and we were trying, like it was something to keep Exile's name more active in like the community in some ways. Even though like the comp community is not our community,
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know.
No, I understand. Yeah, that's good. Good answer.
I mean,
That's,
you know,
that's
if you're
all I
desperate
can like
enough.
really say. I don't know too much about it. It wasn't something really like brought up to the entire team.
Yeah.
But like it was talked about, obviously. Like, but it wasn't like people didn't really have a say about it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, and it's not like it was a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing. We still have it, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Jesus Christ. Lord.
You may have to bleep that out.
I think I might. That's the part I'm gonna have to bleep out.
Yeah, that's the part you have to bleep out. No, I just don't think there's been any tournaments recently.
Okay.
You know, if you're desperate enough, we can always open a Destiny
A
raid
Minecraft team.
speedrun team.
Okay.
Yeah,
Say
Minecraft
Minecraft.
team is exactly.
All right, so we'll do one more question. This is, I guess, for everybody. I want to hear everyone's opinions on this. What does Exile think of the Destiny community as a whole? And I guess we kind of already talked about this, but I sort of guess like we can compare it to other communities if you've been in them, or like
Yeah.
like COD community, Fortnite community. And I guess my opinion on this is I like where our community's at because it feels like everybody knows everybody, and that's kind of cool.
Definitely. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I really couldn't tell you that much because all I know about this community necessarily. I mean, not all I know, but like I've really. Only
I've just
been
come
in
out and said
Exile.
everyone knows everyone, and Jag's like, nah, I don't know anybody.
I've really only been in Exile, so it's like
Yeah.
even though like I feel like a lot of teams have come and gone, but it's always the same people in the most part, which is like the awesome part about it. It's I don't know. It's definitely like people that want to continue going, and we've seen people come and go, definitely, but
Yeah.
like there's definitely standout names of people that have been in the community, and I don't think that should scare anyone to come into the community. I think it should be more of like a welcoming thing in some ways.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're here, you're usually here to stay unless you really are a shitty person and you get excommunicated from the community, or you decide to just leave in some way. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I feel like it's a very unique community, and it's a very well-knit community. That's all I can really say about it.
I will agree with that.
I mean, my opinion about that. I haven't been in any other communities though, because Destiny is sort of my first game. But from what I can say, other games have like sort of more toxic communities around them.
Yeah.
I haven't like had any experiences in them, but from what I can tell, the Destiny people, like, they're really nice. You know, I remember grinding for the escalation protocol, which, if you know or don't know, it's an activity where you have to get 9 people for So I went into a Discord group with like 46,000 people with like LFG things. That's too many people. Anyways, I was finding people in there, and we're just sitting in a voice chat talking, 9 people, everybody in a different place in the world. It was really fun, and we just had a good time in general. And another thing is that without a community, like I had a meetup. We actually met Charlie, Nausea, IRL in real life in London this summer. And it's a thing that you can't really do with every community.
Yeah.
We met up. We were like, how many were we? Like 7 or 6 people, Charlie.
I think 7. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best experiences I've had till today. Well, it comes down to gaming, and I honestly think that the Destiny community is just a really good community in general.
Definitely.
Charlie, any thoughts? Because like any veteran thoughts? Because you've seen the community in a lot of different states. You've been here for so long.
Yeah, I'm just sort of wondering. I do agree with everyone else. Like the Destiny community, I don't know why exactly, but it is sort of unique in the sense of being more welcoming. I think most people who have been a part of it can attest to that. But at the same time, there are people in every community, and you can't help this with a AAA game with as large an audience as Destiny has. There are still like more toxic people and things like that. But also, I do, like I said earlier, I do think there are some really big divisions in the community nonetheless, or maybe they've been exacerbated by like the recent lower, area for Destiny, and arguments on one side for changes and other based on what different groups want. And I don't really have an argument here. That's just a comment.
It's just your opinion.
Yeah.
I respect it. All right. So that is all we have to talk about for this episode of the Exile Podcast. One last time, Exile Scoob or Griffin.
Exile Jag or Kevin.
Exile Mintam or Mintam or Tamtam or something with Tam.
Exile Nausea or Charlie.
Yeah. Thank you guys if you made it this far on the podcast. I don't know why you would, but we appreciate everybody watching and giving us the freedom to try out this form of content. This was really fun. I enjoyed recording this. You guys have a good time?
Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. Mom, I hope you see me back on YouTube.
Your mom's going to be like, what's Mintam?
Oh, God.
So, I guess that's it for this episode. Definitely be on the lookout for future episodes, future montages, more content, more Exile coming your way, for sure.
Definitely.
So, see you guys in the next one.
We'll see you later.
See you.
Later out.